Today
So,
we're going to be talking about
no,
the
I wouldn't say I have
new
a passion for each other.
NBA collective bargaining agreement
Welcome
and the
back to Human
cannabis
Resources for
provisions.
the
This
People.
article
It's a
is
human
by
capital
Deanna
revolution.
Lucci and Danielle Dwyer. Link down below if you'd like to know more about it. They're from a law firm, Dwayne Morris. You know, most people don't think of this from a human resources perspective, which is why I wanted to talk about it and highlight how these collective bargaining agreements have, importance in the human resources world. So the NBA announced the ratification of its 7-year collective bargaining agreement. So it takes effect this year on July 1st, and it goes through the 29-30 season. That seems like a very long time, which makes me think, that labor peace is kind of on the rise, specifically in the NBA. Long agreement. This is considered, I would consider this a long agreement. I think generally speaking, they run 3 to 5 years, most collective bargaining agreements, outside of the NBA. And that means that there's, extreme peace there, I think, as well as a sort of, they're copacetic. They agree with each other pretty frequently. So let's talk about it. They're going to remove cannabis from the prohibited substance list. So they're actually removing it completely. That's pretty interesting. I mean, it is obviously still federally illegal, but if I had to imagine, at least half the players play in states where it's legal on the state level. And so it makes a good bit of sense, especially considering this. It's legal in a lot of places, and frankly, uh, it actually is. There's a really interesting article about this, but it is actually a performance enhancing drug, or can be. There is some substances, or there's some effects that cannabis can have on the body that would actually improve your performance in playing basketball. But you can still, the NBA still can still discipline players for violating the law, which makes sense, or being under the influence, which makes sense. I mean, anytime they break the law, they still should be held accountable. But those who are uh, partaking in legal states are unlikely to be breaking the law with respect to this. The other interesting thing is that NBA players can now invest in companies that make CBD infused products and hold passive non-controlling interest in companies that make products with more substantial concentrations. I think that that's an interesting. I'm sure very soon you'll see a Snoop Dogg, LeBron strain of cannabis coming out of the league. I think that that's a pretty interesting concept. There'll probably be a Jordan brand of weed before long. I think that that is a really sort of exciting business opportunity for many players, and that's probably going to get a lot of traction. You're going to see a lot of that coming out of this, and that's pretty interesting. What do you think about this new change to the collective bargaining agreement? What do you think about the new change with respect to the drug policy? Do you agree with it? I think it's about time. I think it makes a lot of sense. Even though it is somewhat of a performance enhancing drug, I still think that the overall improvement and decriminalization here is a good thing. But leave a comment down below, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.